All right. Now, I want to preface one thing here. On Monday, on Monday, I recorded class in 4K. I know that I said yesterday that I wasn't showing up. I was checking all my devices. If you have a very high-end computer at home that has a nice graphics processing unit or has a nice screen, like the new Note 9s and whatever phones, they have nice 4K screens. You can actually watch it in 4K. I didn't know that. So from now on, knowing the fact that it could show up in higher definitions, I will record with a different camera from now on. This will be the last day with probably my traditional camera. I'll start recording in a higher resolution. It works from anything lower, so don't feel like you have to have a new computer to watch it. So I just want to warn you of that because I didn't know if it was showing up because none of my devices are that type of level. But I will record it from now on because it was a lot easier to use my phone than it was to use this actual camera because I can record longer. So we'll start doing that from now on. So hopefully the sound works out better. If anyone complains about sound, let me know. Because I want to make sure that I still get the same quality for sound and video wise. But it looked good the other day. But I had a couple of people check on 4K and it actually did work. So we'll start doing that from now on. All right, here we go. So, okay. The first problem is based on renter's rule. You have to figure out what you make per month and then divide that by 4. If you see the hint, the hint will not be there on test day. So you got to know what you make per month and then divide by 4. The chart, the only thing you're going to need on the board that I will provide you is what you get paid, like semi-monthly, semi-weekly, bi-weekly. That chart will be on the board on test day. Let's not throw things. So, here's the idea. So if it's $14,000 a year, here's what I'd like you to do. First thing you have to do, if that's what you're making per year, divide by 12. What that'll give you is it'll give you your monthly pay. That's the first step. Now, maybe I don't start you with how much you make per year. Maybe I tell you how much you make weekly. So you can multiply that by 52 if you work 52 days a year, or 52 weeks a year, that type of thing. Once you divide by 12 and you have your monthly pay, whatever this number is, I'm not going to do that for you, you can go figure that out in the calculator. You're going to have to take that number and then divide by 4. This will give you what your rent should be, the maximum rent. Does that make sense how you're going to do the first one?
Yes.
Okay. Do it on a calculator. Remember, on test day, you can use calculators as well. Just make sure that I'm getting those back before you guys leave today, because I'll need those for my other classes today. Okay, does that make sense for what you need to do on this one? Now, the trick is, if I don't give you $14,000 a year, and I tell you that you get paid $158 weekly,
and then divide that by 4.
Weekly, then what you have to do is you have to multiply this by 52 to figure out what you make per year. This will be your yearly pay. Divide by 12 to figure out monthly. And then divide that by 4. Now, the reason why is I had a lot of people in the homework on this part get these questions wrong because they're like, oh, if you get paid weekly, just multiply by 4. There's some months that have more than 4 weeks in it. Like June usually has 5 weeks. So you have to be worried about those things. Those are called super pay months. You have to be worried about that. So you got to figure out what you make per year. Don't just try to figure out what you make that month by multiplying by 4 or by 2. Because some people made a mistake. It said like semi-weekly, you get paid twice a week. And you don't just multiply by 2 again, because that doesn't make the month. You have to actually figure out what you're getting paid per year.
Do you want us to round up?
Round, yeah. 2 decimal places. Yep, because you want to go to the nearest penny. Okay, all right, here we go. Moving on. Because again, remember, I'm only going through the first 4 today. Make sure that you're writing these down, you're trying to calculate. Does everyone have that down? Remember, the hint will not be there test day. You have to know that you have to find month, and then you have to divide by 4.
What are you going to want 58?
Oh, this is just a different example. So, like, if I didn't tell you you made $14,000 a year, maybe I told you only make this money per week. You have to multiply by how many weeks are in a year, figure out your yearly, and then do the same stuff I just did here. You have to figure out year, go to month, then divide by 4. So yeah, this is just a random example. I would say maybe you want to put this example down beside it in case I give you a different one. The only thing you'll actually have on the board for me are 2 things. You're going to have the chart with weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, semi-monthly, that type of thing. That'll be on the board. It'll be over there. right behind Matt and Chase over there, and Rachel. And then you're gonna have the formula for compound interest. And all the desks in here will be facing that direction. You guys know the drill when we take tests. So they'll all be facing that way, so you don't have to look around the room. They'll be right in front of you. And you can use calculators, obviously. Okay, we good on the first one?
Yep.
Okay. Again, this is just an example in case I don't give you how much you make per year. This would be like a different example I could throw in there. Because I'm just picking one from the book that you did in the homework. That's all I'm doing. And they didn't always have them per year. But this one I had a lot of questions on. People just didn't know how to start it.
Easy.
2 bolts.
Okay, are we good?
Yes.
Bannister, you good?
Finally, yeah.
Okay, good. All right. Anyone else have a question though? Let's move on. Number 2.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, number 2.
Yeah.
All right. This one. It's what you make per annual income. You got to find your annual income, kind of like the last round. But then all you have to do is once you find how much you make per year, then you have to multiply by 2.5. This is called the banker's rule. The banker's rule is how much money they're allowing you to borrow for a mortgage. The banker's rule not. So that hint will not be there. So you won't know that you have to multiply by 2.5. You have to know that for banker's rule.
Okay.
Okay? It will not be on the board, so it's just some number you have to know. It's 2.5. But here's how you do this. If this is what you're making per hour, you have to multiply by 40 to figure out what you make per week, and then multiply by 52 weeks to figure out what you make per year. This is your yearly income. Okay, because again, the chart will be on the board to tell you how many weeks you have to multiply by if you're getting paid per week. 40 hours a week, normal work week.
33,000.
Yeah, so you're making a lot, $33,000 a year. Once you have that, once you have your yearly income, whatever this price is, then you have to multiply by 2.5, and this will tell you what the mortgage you can take out, the loan.
Hey Ward, I thought it was 50 years, like vacation.
Yeah, I'm gonna just say 52. I'll warn you of that tomorrow if I want you to go by 50 or 52. That's something I will tell you on test day. So, usually it's 50 if you get 2 weeks vacation. If it's 52, multiply by 52. I'll kind of warn you, maybe you get 48 in your job. Test day, I'll kind of warn you of how many weeks I want you to work. So, but 40 is to get 1 week of work, right? 40 hours. Okay, does everyone understand the 2.5 rule?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's?
It should be a pretty big number.
83,200.
So, say it again?
83,200.
Yeah, I think you multiplied by accident. You multiplied it twice. Do it again. Yeah.
83,000.
You must have multiplied it again.
No, we did that. You gotta get.
Yeah, it's the mortgage.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, hey, what I'm giving you here is that's the maximum amount of money you can borrow for a mortgage.
2.8.
Okay, we did that a long time ago when we did that activity in class where you had to figure out what you could borrow for your job. What? What type of home you could buy. What type of home you could buy. Okay, are we good? Does anyone else have a question? Okay, third question. So we only have 2 left. Third question today.
Okay.
Okay, we gotta stop chat. It's picked up by the camera and then they can't hear what I'm talking about. Alright, this one. This problem is one you have to use the formula that I'm going to give you on the board. It'll be over there, it'll probably be right where that red area is, it'll be on the top of the board, over there. This one you have to use the compound interest formula to figure out what you're going to pay for your entire mortgage. I give you all the numbers you needed there. I give you what you're going to go down, you're going to do a down payment on this thing. Whatever money's left after your down payment, you're going to take out a 30-year loan at a 4% interest, and I'll change those numbers on you. Okay, but here's the formula that you're going to have, and again, it'll be over there on test day. But this one you want to write down right now. It's P1 plus R over N, N to the T, and NT is in the power. That formula will be on the board. I'll even have all the labels, what they mean. This is the amount paid for this is the amount in total that you're going to spend over this many years for your mortgage. The P is the principal amount, that's the amount that you're borrowing. R is the rate, the interest rate that you're doing. And this has to be written in decimal form. Because right now, I think it's written as 4%, you have to make that a decimal. And then the n is how many times it's compounded. And usually the compounded is always 12. They always multiply by 12, or divide by 12, because you're doing it every month, 12 times a year. And the t is time.
10%.
And this would be in years. These labels will be on the board on test day. They'll be below that picture so you know where to plug the numbers in at. The problem that I'm worried about is, do you know how to type it in the calculator to get the right answer? Because on the homework day when we did this, it was a train wreck watching people type these in. They weren't using the correct symbols, they weren't putting parentheses where they needed it, they weren't dividing correctly, they were trying to take really big numbers and divide them, you weren't getting the right answers. Okay, this problem, I'm not joking, this number 3 is worth the most points probably on the test, by far. It has the most work. I think when I initially did this problem, it was worth 8 to 9 points.
Why?
Because there's so many steps you have to do and you have to plug the numbers in the right spots. Most of this, 90% of this is just a calculator, but you have to show me what you're typing.
That was year 12.
Okay, are we good to go? Do we understand what we're doing here? I'm gonna start and stop the camera so you can see the whole thing in case it gets cut off. So I want to make sure you know how to do this one. This one's worth the most.
In like one video.
Yeah, one video, always do. Okay, always stitch it together. Okay, first step, we have to take out the down payment. So, $125,000 and or $125,900, we have to multiply it by 0.10. The reason why, I got to figure out what my down payment is. You're making a down payment on this home to make sure that the mortgage is significantly less. If I multiply by 0.10, it's going to tell me this number on my screen. Does that make sense? Is that what everyone's getting?
Yeah.
Okay, what that is, just on this problem, when I multiply by 0.10, that's the down payment you're making. You're making a $12,000 deposit on this house. So what you'll have to do before I even start the problem is subtract that $12,000 out of the mortgage. Because you're taking out a loan that is significantly less than $125,000. You have to subtract the down payment out. Why you need to do that is that this is the principal that you're actually going to borrow. Because you made a down payment before that started. Because I warned you, like when I did this for my own home, I made a pretty significant down payment because it made my payments nearly cut in half. I wasn't paying nearly as much money. It was saving me like, making a $16,000 down payment saved me 50 to 60 grand in my house. Because of the mortgage in the long run. Which is significant. That's a big payoff. Okay, so you're gonna have to subtract it. The only thing I'm worried about, make sure that you make that 10% where I'm getting that 0.10, by the way, this. It's making it 0.10, you always move the decimal over 2 spots. You have to do that whatever your number is. So if it was 20%, it's 0.20. If it was 5%, it's 0.05. You have to figure out that down payment. Okay, now this should be around 113,000, something like that.
113,000.
Okay, yeah. So it's kind of in that ballpark, 113-ish. Okay, so now whatever that number is, that's your principal. So now I can start to plug those numbers into this formula. So I'm going to use that 113,000 number that we just found here. That's my principal amount that I'm borrowing from the bank. The R is my interest rate. That's the 4% interest. The N is how many times I'm compounding. It's 12 times a year. So these will be 12. I'll put these in here in a second. R is my interest rate. Interest. And then the T is the time frame. So if I'm taking out a 30-year loan or a 20-year loan or a 15-year loan, whatever it is. So I'm going to plug these numbers in here in a second. I have the little answer key up here. Does everyone understand where I'm going to plug these numbers in at? Now, it was 113-ish thousand. That's the number we're going to use, whatever that number is. Okay? Okay, does everyone have this chart written down now?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm about to erase this chart.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. So plugging these numbers in is 113,000. Fred, can you say that number again?
113,310.
310, thank you. And then we're going to plug in the rate. The rate is the 4%, 0.04, because you have to write it as a decimal. I said that in the little answer key. We're going to divide that by 12. And then in the power, we're going 12 times how many years you're taking the loan out. I'm taking a 30-year loan. That 12 times 30 is in the power. You should probably just do that number in your head, 12 times 30. Okay? Because I know people are gonna type that in wrong, and you'll get a significantly wrong answer if you type that wrong in your calculator. So just do that prop in your head, that power. All right, so when we do this, 113,310. If I take the 0.04 divided by 12, I don't know, do you get something like this? Is that what you get? Okay. And then in the power, that should be 360. That's 0.04 divided by 12, correct? Okay. Again, double check my math because I'm doing everything in my head right now. Oh, actually, this is a small number. Hold on. I'm gonna check this. 0.0333333. Sorry. 0.00333333. Sorry, I was doing my head. Sorry, I knew there was.
How far do you want us to go then?
4 or 5 decimals. Like I went too far probably. 4 or 5 decimals. Okay, so now when I add these together, hey, did everyone make a fix to that decimal?
Yeah.
Hey, did everyone see this? I wrote that number down. Okay, when you add these together, you're gonna get 1.00333333. I don't know, 4 or 5 decimals. We have to put that to the 360th power. That's 12 times 30. And then whatever that number is, we're going to take times 113,310. This number, if I put this to the 360th power, it turns out to be like 3 point something. So 1.033333 to the 360th power. How do you put something to a power, by the way? It's this little caret key. So I would type in 1.003333, hit the little caret symbol, type in 360 and hit enter, and that gives me this next number I'm about to show you, which is 3.31349.8. That's the number, that's 1.0033333 to the
How did I do
360.
that?
Typing in 1.0333333, and then you hit the little caret, type in 360.
I got 3.2.
Yeah, I still didn't get that.
How many decimal places are you guys going?
5.
5, so you just went about that same number? I wonder if it's because of how many decimal places I used. I'm still getting the same number.
So 1.00.
3333333. All right, put the little caret. I put 3 or 4.
1.
The 360.
0.003333.
3.30.
Yeah, that's like that.
Okay, it depends on how many 3s you put, so 3.30.
I got 3.30.
30, okay. Okay. If you're in the ballpark, I'm going to give it to you. Because no one's going to be able to guess that number. It's like, that's impossible to guess what that number's going to be.
And that's how many we do.
And then then you're going to take that number, whatever that 3.30 is, you're going to take that times your 113,000.
But it only has to be 3.30.
3 or 4 decimal places. What are you getting, like 375-ish thousand?
Yeah, 374.9.
Yeah, 374.9. Okay, give me some other numbers you had.
373923. That's what I got. 373923.
Okay, roughly about that-ish, depending on how many decimal places you did. What do you get?
I got 375,452.46.
That's what I had too. It depends on how many 3s you put.
Okay, I mean, I just typed it all into my calculator and got the same number.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, see, it depends on how many decimal places. That's why I'm going to say 3 to 4 to 5 decimal places. If you're in the ballpark, like you're in that 375, 374, I give it to you because I'm seeing the numbers you have written down. Because I just type your numbers in my calculator to make sure it's correct. Now, I know you're in the ballpark, you're 373, 374, 375, something in that range. Mine just said 375 because you use a bunch of decimal places. And now, this is what you're paying total for your home. Do you see the difference? That was the loan we took out. This is what you're paying after 30 years. But the last step is to figure out what you're going to pay per month. So, I said, this is a big problem, right? There's a lot of steps to it. You have to take this number, whatever you just found, divide it by how many years you went for your loan. How many years is our loan?
30.
30. You're going to divide by 30. And then divide by 12. Because 12 is how many months are in a year. So divided by 30, divided by 12, I got roughly about $1,000. I got like 42 bucks, something like that. Yeah.
30.
Now, you have to be within that ballpark, in that range. Maybe it's 1,039. I have no idea what your number is. Okay.
150.
150? Okay. If you're in the ballpark, I pretty much give it to you as long as you have all the work showing me what you got. Because it might just come down to how many decimal places you used. So you're in the ballpark, I pretty much give it to you.
That's monthly?
That's monthly. This, you can see why this problem is going to take you the longest. It's the most points. It's actually worth more points than almost all the first page. It's just that's how many points are on it. Question? Yes, please. Okay, all right. Now that we have that, the last problem today, the fourth problem that I want to do is the one with the chart. It's very similar to this problem, but you don't have to go through all of that math and the whole formula. You have a chart that kind of tells you what you're going to do. Okay, does anyone still need this on the board? This is one problem you might just need to practice over and over and over to make sure you get it right. Go in the book. Check out some of the numbers they have. All right.
720 times 30.
Last problem of the day, number 4. That was going to take me the longest. I knew that one problem was going to take the longest today. Okay, number 4. This is the chart problem. The chart will be there. Hopefully it looks okay for you. It's not in color, but the charts like these, I always put these on the board on test day. That even though like they have it printed, in case it gets a little blurry or you can't see it, I'll always have it on the board, and all they do is they cycle through. They just play automatically. And so every 5-6 seconds it switches to the next table or the next chart, just in case you can't see a certain number, like you got like smudged or something. Okay, so we're doing a $70,000 loan at 12% interest. That's this number right here. I even said in the directions, ignore the arrows. That will still be there. That hint will still be there. You have to ignore the arrows because that arrow is the picture from the book. All right, what this number is. This is what you're paying per month for 30 years. So what the question wants you to do is to figure out what you're going to totally pay for the home. So you have to take your $720 because that was your $70,000 loan at 12%. Take it times 12 to figure out what you pay per year. Take it times 30 because they told you you're going for 30 years. You have to read the instructions. It's a 30-year loan. This is what you're going to pay in total for your home. Now, all you have to do next, after you figure out your total that you're paying, that's a pretty big chunk of change. Once you figure out what you're paying in total for your home, subtract the $70,000 off of it. That was what you originally took the loan out for. And this is going to be the interest that you just paid the bank. Those are the two numbers I'm looking for. I'm looking for how much you paid total and what you paid in interest to the bank after you subtract out the loan. You should be showing me all that work. The instructions say that. Figure out what you pay in 30 years and the total interest paid to the bank after you subtract out the $70,000 to the loan. Okay, that's my last problem of the day. Tomorrow we'll do the next 4 or 5. And then your homework is still due on Friday. You have your page 89, 91, 103, 105. It's online if you need to see it. It's on JMC. It's in I have the videos there. Tomorrow will be the first day, or I guess second day technically. I'll start recording in a higher resolution in case you have a really nice computer at home, or a really nice phone can play these, by the way. The Samsung phones can go high definition.
Definitely alright.
So there you go. Me? Okay. If you're missing an assignment, I'm going to tell you right now. So if you're missing an assignment, here, because I have all of your grade books are completely up to date. And it's a little deceiving because one of the assignments has multiple pages, so it looks like you're missing a lot when you're not. I'm missing an assignment from Andrew. I'm missing one assignment. It's page 82, 84, and 87. I'll give you those page numbers. That was the last one. Last Friday. And then, or yeah, due Friday, yeah. And then Chase, I'm missing the same one, page 82, 84, 87. That was last Friday. And then, if you turn in
Grandma's not in town.
Monday's assignment,
I
I probably have it.
don't feel
Because
good.
I know a lot of people turn in Monday's stuff.
What way do you plan on making
He's
it 10
completely
minutes?
fine with that, but I guess say that would be.
Let's see. The people that still owe me, the one that was due Monday, the page 95, 97 one, that was,
I don't know. Bring it to the shack.
Get the phone.
I think that one got on it, good.
Whatever he wants to do.
Oh, Galkin, it's Galkin, you were on, page 95, 97.
Do you want to take that here? I'm not senior study hall. That's it. I'm not going to.
Let's put that stuff back, okay, there's Galkin, thank you.
What?
He can do whatever he
Alright,
wants.
so, if you want me, I'll write those problems down for you. You want? You have it? Okay. 1, 2, 4, 7,
I used to have a calendar for it.
5, 6, 7. Okay. Galkin, you want me to write down that page 95, 97 for you? Do you need that written down, or you have it?
It's
I
starting
think
right
I think I have
now.
like 95.
Okay, because that's the one you missed. Now, if there's an X in the grade book for you, is because you were sick that day, and it might have been just an in-class activity and you're excused from it. Because I know, like, there was a lot of people gone one day for egg trip, for like when we did the housing problem, like you were excused from it. You were gone, or maybe you were sick that day. So that's something you just can't make up. We did it that day.
It's not in my locker.
Go from the camera.
Well,
But your grades are completely up to date. The only thing I have to enter is, some people turned in 97, 95 yesterday. So I'll get those in the grade book to you.
Yeah.
What?
No, I got them bands.
I was just playing.
Got them bands. Got them bands.
Don't have this class
Yeah, one volume.
What time we get out of shore?
I think it's 51.
No.
I think it's 51 today.
I got
It's early out.
I'm surprised I
Well,
have
the
teachers
next one's lunch.
Yeah.
So,
for like,
that's the B one. So,
they're like, put your phones in charge. And they're like, oh, you probably don't have your phone with my cord attached to my pocket. I said I didn't think this hit shit, but I have my phone in my pocket.
Start sleeping in the room.
You're what?
I wish I could use that now.
It's online, I'll have to do it with you online.
I get this one for
Tomorrow,
you.
sounds good.
I have to grab all of them. Miranda.
I have a lot of stuff that I gotta turn in.
Other classes?
Missing.
I mean, this a couple days in a row. Yeah, it piles up pretty quick, I bet.
Have a good day.
Yep, you too.
Just kidding.